Massive night on Tuesday night for AFC Bournemouth. Tell us what it means to the club from a professional and business point of view.
Well, it's just first of all, I only wanted to pop in. My biggest mistake is saying to Jimmy, I'm happy to just say a few words. With Jimmy, it's absolutely impossible. But what I wanted to do first and foremost was to thank each and every person in the room here, all of our supporters, for your incredible support throughout the year. It's not just this year, it's our journey. You know, the last decade for this football club has been as special as I think the Liverpool supporters hoping that they're going to get the quadruple. I actually put our promotion into that bracket when you take the size of the two clubs. It's absolutely incredible for us to be in the Premier League for the second time. I think Thank you. I think if you put it into perspective, that there are huge football clubs that have been promoted into the Premier League over the past 29 years, I think it is. Next year it's going to be 30 years since the Premier League was formed. And clubs that have been, there are 3, 4, 5 times of our size, you know, both in stature and in structure. They are languishing in the Championship and in the EFL, unable to get out of what is, for my own opinion, the most difficult league in the world to get out of once you're in there. Our opponents on Tuesday night, Nottingham Forest, I think it's 25 years or close to that since they were in the top flight. Leeds United, 17 years. And from what people outside of our incredible town call us Little Old Bournemouth, well, swivel on this because we have got out of this cauldron in only 2 years. And it's a real team effort, and it's not just Scott's dressing room downstairs. I've always said this football club has 2 dressing rooms, one downstairs, one upstairs, and one common heartbeat. And along with everybody in this room, you know, your songs, your singing, your commitment, travelling the length and breadth of Britain, you know, on dark days to far off places, have actually encouraged and inspired the team to get over the line. And I'm happier for our supporters than anybody else that you can come and see people playing the greatest footballers on earth, and that's just our club. Thank you.
Obviously, Chairman, to be in the Premier League is an amazing thing, but there's a financial thing to it. This club was set up over the last decade, like you say, to be a big club, to be a Premier League club. Obviously, if the club had stayed in the Championship, it would have had financial implications, wouldn't it? So what does it mean? I'm not talking actual numbers, but there's a lot of people that might have lost their jobs or things might have changed somewhat. How important is that?
Well, you know, we would certainly hope that in terms of job retention, that wouldn't happen. You know, I think that you can only see our commitment for our season tickets. You know, since the day we were promoted, the price of season tickets have never changed at the football club, and that's been out of our respect for those people who for 125 years, I'm not suggesting we've still got one person that has followed us for 125 years, but there's certainly people at my age or even older that have followed the football club, and out of respect we didn't want to increase what is already a difficult life for everybody at the moment with the cost of living. But going up into the Premier League has its own challenges, because no matter what kind of business we may or may not do in the summer, you're improving your own squad, but by comparison to the clubs that are already in there, you're literally treading water. And the fact that we survived for 5 years first time around was, in my humble opinion, a greater achievement than actually getting there in the first place, because we know when the bookies lay the odds, after the fixture list comes out in June, we will be one of the favourites for relegation. You look at Norwich, and I don't want to wish Watford any ill, so the Watford supporters here. Okay, I wish them not very good. But they are likely, again, I think, I'll be very surprised. I'll be very surprised if they stay up. So 2 of the 3 clubs that were promoted last year have gone straight back down. And if you understand from a professional sportsman's point of view, and Jimmy would be a far better person to ask than me, you know, as a professional sportsman, what a change in mentality. You cross the line on a match day playing in the EFL with a squad of our talent, and you're expected, and because of the quality, to win more games than you lose. And thank God we've done that in order to get promoted. But next year, it doesn't matter what you invest in the summer, you know you're going to lose more games than you win. And you know me, my glass is always overflowing. It's not being negative, it's just being realistic. And when we first got promoted, somebody said to me, if you finish 17th, that's the equivalent of whoever wins it. And you know, we will do our best to always be our best. And the boys will next year, I promise you, as they've done this year, leave everything on the park, not in the dressing room, in our quest to not only retain our position, but to season on season improve on where we were last time. We're back in the big time, we want to stay there. It means an awful lot to the football club economically. As Jimmy said, it just, you know, allows us to look at improving, you know, our facilities, looking at improving the quality of the squad, but more importantly, just trying to invest to improve so that we can compete. There's no point in getting promoted and then getting relegated because you haven't actually invested in the squad. You can invest in the squad and get relegated, but you can look in the mirror and say we've done our very best to provide economically the best that we can do out of respect to our supporters. And we'll continue to do that.
And lastly, Chairman, on a personal note, obviously the first time we got promoted in 2015, you had your arse smacked on live television. You just got a shower this time then?
Yeah, it was, I couldn't actually see anything, you know, for a few minutes. So I just wondered what had happened to me. and then,
if anyone missed it, Jess and Lemmer sprayed him with champagne straight in the face. And
so what was interesting, that I left the football club at sort of nearly the last to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning from Bubbles, and I had a presentation at Winton Primary School at 9:30 in the morning. And seriously, it was. I got to bed at 4:30. I set the alarm for 6:30, because I needed to have a shower, because I was still absolutely reeking of alcohol from this drowning. And you imagine turning up at a primary school, you know, smelling like a lush. So I've literally managed to find a pair of trousers and a polo shirt. And then when I looked at my shoes, they were actually stuck together. So I finished up wearing a pair of trainers, but I walked through the door of the primary school and the receptionist said, "Oh my God, Jeff, the little boys and girls are so excited to see you today." And I said, "I'm, you know, bullshit, I'm equally as excited." You know, all I wanted to be was in bed, you know, literally, you know, fast asleep. I've been like acting like the world's oldest teenager for 3 days. So, and then she looked at me again and didn't say anything. Looked again and she said, "Would you like a coffee?" So it was obviously transparent. My eyes were like an albino, seriously. And I said to her, she said, "Do you take sugar?" I said, "No, but today I'll have 3. And it really gave me a real boost. But I didn't want to miss an opportunity today to come up and thank you all for every single thing you do for our football club, from sponsors, supporters. There's so much love for this football club. We've had messages from all over the world, countries that I didn't even know existed. And I do truly believe that if you're not a Cherry supporter, everybody else in the Premier League in particular, by the messages, we are everybody's second favourite team. But I love you all. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jeff Mostyn.